Hello, Robin. What's been on your mind this week?
It's been good, my mind this week. It's a little intense, but, meaningful. I've had a few ART sessions lately that just blew me away. Watching clients shift in such a short amount of time, it's hard to explain, but you can feel it.
You can. It's just like energy. It's hard to explain. It's honestly wild how fast and deep ART can go. I know we mentioned it in the last episode, but being the cool ladies that we are, we really wanted to give it some proper airtime because it's changed so much for us and obviously our clients. So, quick note before we dive in ART stands for Accelerated Resolution Therapy, and it is not the same as art therapy. So, if I say art, I'm really talking about ART. Art therapy is also a valuable therapeutic approach that uses creative expression, like drawing, painting, or sculpting, something like that, to explore feelings and foster insight. And it must be facilitated by a licensed art therapist. ART, on the other hand, is a structured, evidence based trauma therapy that uses eye movements and imagery to support the nervous system in resolving trauma. They are both meaningful tools for healing, but today we're focusing on ART, the eye movement kind.
Exactly. Today's episode, it's a bonus, a mini episode where we're going to talk about accelerated resolution therapy, why we love it, and how it can be so powerful for healing trauma.
As always, take a moment to arrive. Maybe feel your body supported by whatever you're sitting or resting on in this moment. Notice your shoulders. Are they holding tension? If it feels okay, let them soften a bit. You don't need to do anything but be here just as you are, in whatever body and experience you bring with you today.
This conversation might stir some curiosity or even some skepticism, and that's okay. We're just sharing what we've seen, what we've felt, and why ART has such a special place in our toolkits. If anything feels like a lot, know you can pause or come back to this later. So let's start with the basics. ART, or ART, or Accelerated Resolution Therapy, is a brief, evidence-based therapy that uses eye movements to help people process and resolve trauma. What's amazing is you don't have to talk about the trauma in detail. It's client-directed, structured, and surprisingly gentle. And if you've never done ART before, here's a tiny peek into what a session might feel like. Okay, you might be asked to bring up an image, just a snapshot, not the full story, and then follow either the therapist's hand or a light, and they will guide you through some eye movements. After each round, you check in with yourself, and your mind may shift naturally. Toward the end, you're invited to replace that image with one that feels more empowering, comforting, or even neutral. It's a gentle, choose-your-own adventure for your nervous system.
Yes, I love that. Those were such fun books back in the day. I love that analogy. ART was developed in 2008 by Lainey Rosenzweig, and while it wasn't created exclusively for veterans, it gained early recognition through its use in military hospitals, VA centers, and trauma clinics across the country. Research partnerships with institutions like the University of South Florida helped build its credibility, especially for treating PTSD in veteran populations. It's now a recognized and well researched modality, which makes it both accessible and trustworthy for people who are new to therapy or just feeling wary about going deep.
And the image replacement process is key. You don't just reprocess that traumatic memory, you change the visual and emotional imprint your brain holds onto. It's memory reconsolidation in action, meaning your brain updates the memory with new information and context. That shift helps create a sense of safety and resolution in the body.
It's like every time I read that or hear that, it just blows my mind. Just blows my
Yes,
mind.
I
I,
know.
I love it. That emotional imprint. Like, wow, we're updating the memory. Is that even possible? Sit down, let me show you.
Mm-hmm.
And what really stands out to me is genuinely how fast it works, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, many clients in my experience have reported like super noticeable shifts or relief in just like 1 to 5 sessions. It is not magic, but when you've been stuck for years, it can feel surprisingly powerful. And to be fair, even a little surreal. And of course, everybody's experience is totally different, and it may take more than one session to notice a shift.
Right. And for us as therapists, it's one of the best tools we've found for compassion fatigue because we don't have to hear the whole story or hold every ounce of pain. It's not about us holding it, it's about the client's brain doing that work.
Exactly. ART gives people back a sense of agency. You're in control, even when the memory feels intense. You get to say what you're working on. Or, oh my gosh, keep it private. You're still doing really deep work without needing to retell or relive your trauma, which for some people kind of keeps them stuck in that cycle. And it's pretty tough to learn new information if you're in that heightened state.
Exactly. I find that it's also especially helpful for folks who struggle to talk, like many men, who don't know where or what or how to navigate feelings, or people who feel nervous or unsure about therapy. I have found that ART really lowers that barrier to entry and of the belief that maybe they actually can be helped.
That's magic, huh? It's beautiful. I love that. And if you're curious, well, good. We totally want you to be. ART is one of those approaches that's quietly revolutionary. It's gentle, empowering, and especially well suited for people who felt like talk therapy isn't a fit. Whether you've been told to keep your feelings in or you've had trouble opening up in past therapy experiences, ART meets you where you are. It is so great for folks who want to do deep healing without having to rehash their entire story. And it truly, really, truly works. When I was in training, I want to just kind of share a little backstory of my own experience with ART because they do make you do it. As a clinician, you get to not only learn how to administer it, but you get to
Mm-hmm.
reprocess, right?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I still feel for the lady that had to do mine because I had what's called an ab reaction. And so I actually was like physiologically really disturbed because I was reprocessing a memory from gosh, I think I might have been 15, and it was incredibly traumatic. And it was actually something that had caused significant problems in my current relationship. And once I reprocessed that scene, um, I even could just laugh right now because of the image replacement I chose. I see that every single time. This memory was redone in 2021. And though I know it's like there, it's kind of fallen off in my long term memory. It's back in the file cabinets, what have you. I don't access that information. The new images continuously pop up. And sometimes it makes me cry because of like the genuine, real long lasting change, especially for somebody like I have survived some pretty heinous trauma. And that being said, I'm a believer all day.
Yeah. I thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I remember my own experience in the training too.
Ooh, do
Yes.
tell, Robin.
uh, I worked on a memory from when I was 9, and um, this was in 2021 also. I think we both got certified the same year,
We might
maybe.
have.
Yeah. So from 2021, and um, just processing a memory from when I was 9, and it's so true that like when I do think about that memory now, I know it exists, factually, but when I think about it, those image replacements do come to mind. So I think of, I see a
Yeah.
Nintendo, an old school Nintendo,
Hell yeah.
like on a yellow wall. And I know this might not mean much to the listeners, but like, there's a moment where you have to like recreate. And so now that's what I see.
I
And
love that.
yeah. And then you do realize, like, after you finish an ART session, just like it opens up, it just gives you more room to work on other stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
something else might come up, and then we can work through that. It's so
Yep.
layered, but I do really feel that with this tool, we are, like we've talked about, like walking alongside of you through
Yeah.
this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Guiding, not, I like to envision because I sit in a chair in front of my client, right to the side. I pretend that my chair is the vehicle, I'm the driver, and like you just tell me stop. Yep. Okay. Boop, go. Okay. Boop, stop. If at any time it feels overwhelming, they're totally in control of the session, and everything. I'm just gonna say it. I've had at least a 99% result of like positivity. People leave the office feeling so different, like renewed and unburdened.
Yeah, I know. It's so beautiful to witness. Hmm. If you're not doing ART yet, here's something inspired by it you can try. When you notice a distressing memory or image pop up, pause. Ask yourself, what would I rather see? This doesn't mean bypass or pretend it didn't happen. But what if your brain could hold both the truth of the pain and a new comforting image alongside it? Maybe it's imagining your adult self comforting your younger self, or replacing the freeze frame with something soft, grounded, or even humorous. That imagined shift starts to signal safety.
It does. And I want to kind of let people know, if you didn't know, your brain doesn't really know what's real or what's not. And it's okay to change something that happened to you, though your brain will know that isn't necessarily real. Again, we're trying to get it to cue the positive images or the pleasant images that you're replacing. And one of like the examples, I don't know, the Vietnam War, we know it happened, right? We know it happened. If we're in a history book, I don't need to see those pictures. I don't want to see those pictures. In fact, I would rather see maybe somebody working in a field, or people coming home and feeling a sense of joy instead of that dread and that helplessness. That can be a gentle first step in shifting how your body holds the memory, the information that Robin was just talking about, like checking it out. How do I want to remember that? Always check in with yourself before trying this, because if it feels too much, it is okay to pause and seek support from a therapist. Your body remembers images, and we can offer it new ones that feel supportive. So you may not remember them, but your body does. You don't even have to wait for a full ART session to begin practicing new neural pathways. And my personal favorite of our episodes is our little nervous system nugget. I just love that we have our nervous system nugget every time. It makes me so happy.
I know, me too.
I hope others find it as joyous as I do. So let's check this one out this week. It says, imagination is a tool of the nervous system. Hey, there we go. Your brain doesn't always know the difference. So that does mean visualizing calm, safety, or resolution can actually build those experiences in the body. It's one of the reasons ART works so well and why creative practices can be so healing.
Right? So don't discount those scenes that your mind creates. They can become blueprints for a more regulated future. Your nervous system is listening.
What's one image or memory that's felt stuck for you lately? How does your body respond when you think of it?
If it feels okay and you're grounded enough, try offering your brain a new image. What's something you wish had happened instead? Or someone you wish had been there with you? You're not changing the facts, you're changing the imprint. So we say not changing the facts, but just changing the images. We say that in ART a lot. So we hope this gave you a little window into what ART is and why we found it so powerful and find it so powerful.
100%. It's ongoing. If you're curious about ART or want to explore it more, reach out. You don't have to commit to therapy right away. You can ask questions and get a feel for it. See what feels right for you. Whether it's with one of us or someone in your area, we want more people to know that healing doesn't have to be long, painful, or verbal. There are options.
I like that. It doesn't need to be long, painful, or verbal.
I think that's one of the things that like kind of holds people back is they think they're going to have to like slog through their entire past, and I tell them, "No, it's kind of like figuring out what you avoid as a result of your
Absolutely.
past. And if we can, change some of those formative experiences for you, the sky's the limit. The sky's really the
So
limit, yeah.
true. Yeah. So in our next full episode, we're diving into what happens when you start healing and realize you have to reevaluate relationships, especially those shaped by emotional immaturity.
And I said it last episode, I'm going to say it again. It's a big one. And so with that, remember, healing isn't linear.
And we're here for the ride.
Thanks for sitting with us today. If something resonated, we'd love it if you shared the episode, left a review, or connected with us on social media. We're two therapists walk into a podcast on most platforms. You can listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not therapy, does not replace therapy, and does not establish a therapist-client relationship. If you're in crisis, please reach out to a qualified mental health professional or call 988 in the US. Robin Green is a licensed therapist in Arizona, and Stephanie Edsall is licensed in Utah. And this podcast is intended for a general audience.